Welcome back to Movie Recaps. Today, we'll delve into the intricate and suspenseful world of the 2005 crime thriller Revolver. Spoilers ahead, be prepared for an intense ride. The film opens with the release of Cockney gambler Jake Green from prison, where he has spent 7 long years. After 2 years of freedom, Jake, along with his brother Billy, visits one of the city's most prestigious casinos. Their mission: to reclaim the money they are owed by the casino's owner, the notorious crime boss, Dorothy Macha. Despite his bodyguard Paul's advice, Macha allows Jake to join his private game. Jake, who suffers from claustrophobia, hesitates, but eventually forces himself into the elevator, struggling with a panic attack. Jake's first bet is a chip toss against another player, which he intentionally loses to create a false sense of security for Macha. When Jake repeats the bet with Macha, he wins, managing to outsmart the crime boss. Jake and Billy swiftly leave the casino with their bags brimming with cash. As they exit, a man named Zach stops them, warning them of impending danger and offering his help, leaving Jake with a card. Jake decides to take the stairs but collapses after passing out, falling down the steps. The card reveals the message, "Take the elevator." Jake is rushed to the hospital. Meanwhile, Macha, worried about Jake seeking revenge after his time in jail, orders Paul to hire the best hitman, Sorter, to eliminate him. In the hospital, Jake learns that no cause for his blackout could be found, and he is advised to rest while awaiting blood test results. Billy heads home, but when Jake arrives there with bodyguards for protection, they are all gunned down. Jake narrowly escapes death by picking up a card from the floor that says, "Pick this up." As he tries to flee in his car, his driver is shot. Zach arrives just in time to rescue Jake, taking him away. Sorter, baffled by his failure, concludes that someone must have tipped Jake off. Zach introduces Jake to his partner, Avi, who has obtained Jake's medical file. The results reveal Jake has a rare blood disease that will kill him within 3 days. Zach and Avi offer protection in exchange for all of Jake's money and his compliance with their requests. Jake initially suspects a trick and leaves, but after receiving the same diagnosis from his private doctor, he realizes he has no choice but to agree to Zach and Avi's deal. Avi explains that they are loan sharks and that Jake's money will be used for their loans. As they visit their first client, Jake recounts his history with Macha. Macha's men, known as the Three Eddies, had forced Jake to participate in a game by threatening Billy's family. During the game, Jake initiated a gunfight when other players insulted him and his mother. The power went out, the money vanished, and Jake was interrogated by the police. Macha's men killed Jake's sister-in-law to ensure his silence. Jake didn't implicate Macha and was sentenced to 7 years in prison. The Eddies, who had angered Macha, ended up encased in concrete. As Jake continues working for Avi and Zach, he struggles with the moral implications of hurting innocent people who owe money. Meanwhile, Avi and Zach steal a safe-containing powder that Macha had promised to Lily, an advisor to crime kingpin Sam Gold. Macha, desperate, turns to rival triad kingpin Lord John for more powder. Jake's team then infiltrates a hotel, stealing both the money and the powder, framing Macha and John for the theft. Billy warns Jake about Zach and Avi, but Jake disregards his concerns. Refusing to harm a client, Jake tries to shoot Avi, but finds the gun empty. Avi knocks him out. When Jake wakes up, he learns he has survived his 3rd day. His doctor confirms the diagnosis was wrong, and Jake is fine. Jake demands answers from Avi, who instructs him to wait. Macha, discovering Jake's involvement in his recent troubles, orders his death. Jake flees from Macha's thugs, managing to escape when one of them accidentally shoots himself. Avi and Zach reveal they were the men in the cells next to Jake in prison, teaching him a formula to win any game. They explain that Sam Gold is not a real person, but the embodiment of ego and greed. Jake, having a moment of clarity, donates his remaining money to charity and confronts Macha, apologizing for deceiving him and acknowledging him as the superior crime lord. Jake faces his deepest fears, rejecting his ego and finding inner peace. Macha, driven to madness by his own ego, confronts Jake with a gun but is unable to intimidate him. Humiliated and broken, Macha falls apart. The following morning, Macha learns that Jake has been manipulating him all along and possesses the coveted powder. Macha's men torture Billy, but Sorter, uncomfortable with their brutal methods, kills his fellow henchman to protect Billy's daughter, though he sacrifices his own life in the process. Lily informs Macha that his reign is over, and Jake and Avi take the powder to Macha's casino. Avi, who consistently beats Jake at chess, reveals that he and Zach are figments of Jake's imagination, representations of his internal struggle. Macha, now completely unhinged, confronts Jake while holding his niece hostage. Jake reassures her, enraging Macha further. The voices in Macha's head convince him that he can't harm Jake, leading Macha to shoot himself. That concludes the intense and psychological journey of Revolver. Thank you for joining us, and don't forget to subscribe for more in-depth movie recaps.